Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I am your host, Kimberly Cloud. So I was looking at this, and sure, because I drink them all the time, I know what it is. And my first instinct, let's see if this is a winning situation. Hold up. So I invest in Insure, right? Because back in the day, a woman, she was white. She tried to get me to drink Ensure, and I was like, no, I don't want no Ensure. Fast forward today, it was the VA. She worked for the VA. No, I don't want no Ensure. And let's fast forward. What made me, because I know protein is good for you. So what made me start getting them was I said, 9 grams of protein, that's good. But I looked at, and then I looked at this 27 minerals. So I was like, okay, I'm getting vitamins and minerals. But I never looked at the back. I never do. I do, but I don't. Not enough. That's 27 vitamins and minerals. Minerals. Let's go back to rare earth minerals. It's not rare earth minerals. But imagine there are 6 protons in a computer. So yeah, just had to say that. Get that off my chest. Anyway, let's get started. Deadline. CTU, I have a deadline with you guys. A start of a deadline and a beginning of a new one. I want to be done by today, 6 p.m. I want to at least be finished so I can let it sit and then reread it, do a show about rereading it, find all the errors on the show, read it off air, check it, let it sit another hour, and then reread it on camera and check it again for errors. If I just turn it in and reread it like right away, I won't notice the errors. I have to let it sit. I don't know why that is with me. What I used to do, and that's why I was always passed and they saw the potential in me, I would write my paper, hurry up and write it, read it, write it, or figure that it's not it no error should be in it. And I would just send it off as is with the errors, that the basic errors as I went along, I got. That's a no-go. That's a no-go. It helped, it hurt, and now I know. And that's what I used to do. But the potential in how I speak shows what I'm capable of. So what are we going to do today? Well, I want to take the rest of the paper and extend it, an extension to what I already written. I'm not going to go back. Well, I may have to get a feel. I may start the read all the way to the point I stopped so I can understand what I need to add to it. But once I get started, I'm not going to go back. I'm just going to let it be. I'm not even going to do any errors. Check for it. Like I will see errors. I know I will. But how I'm going to do it is I'm going to read it as is, like a getting a car as is. I'm going to read it as is. And I'm going to understand the concept so I will understand which article I have to place next into the project. Now, once I skim through it, because there's no way it would take 8 hours. This would be a 6 hour show if I was to read every article. So I skim and I read thoroughly, but skim. What keywords, like you and every other school taught us, and I pick what would feel comfortable and complement my paper. I already chose 4 references, so I have to make them complement and have them and have an extension to those, using citations, using paraphrasing, using quotations. And it's 2 questions they ask and then an ending. So I'm up in the air right now. This is a long flight. I'm way up in the air. When I start descending with my paper, I'll let y'all know. Sometimes I may not say nothing. I don't want y'all to get scared because it's nothing wrong with me. I just choose to read in here. It sticks. Both ways are good. I talk all the time. But when I read it, I don't know, it does something different quietly. And then I analyze it verbally if needed, or if it can stick in my brain, it sticks in my brain. So many ways to learn, huh? Okay, let's get started. Okay, how many minutes? Good. Okie doke. So let's get started. So I can finally get rid of these. I got 17 browsers up, or links, or tabs. Oh, don't quiz me on that, y'all. Okay, where is it at? Right here. Okay, where were we at? So this is the body of the paper have to be 4 to 5 pages. He asks 2 questions, which means 2 pages per question, and then a conclusion to all the things that he asks in your summary. It's harder than it looks, though. That's why I give myself a plan. Okay, let me go ahead and read this. I'm not going to do no spell check, nothing yet. I just want to get a overview of what I wrote and what makes sense, because I remember a little bit, but this has to tie into the question. So right here is the introduction right here. I won't read the Lechuga, okay? Sancho, Martin Navarro, Ramos Rodriguez. I am very impressed with these names. Dang. I just don't like pronouncing them. I'll be like, Central. Anyway, let's get started. And today, no prejudice in my bones. I don't want nobody to interpret what I'm saying as prejudice. Golly. I just, let me not even explain. Let's go on with the show, shall we? In today's world, there are many different organizational behavior models you can use to narrow down the body of literature that relates to organizational behavior. I narrowed down 2 specific models that would complement. Oh, don't do it, Kim. Oh, that would be complementary. I thought It said complement. Okay, I'm reading ahead. Okay. That would be complementary to how we play a role in seeking becoming an entrepreneur and the behavior behind it. TPB, theory of planned behavior, is based off a subjective. No, why is that like that? Based off it's no, it should be no of, but I want to see what he put. Yeah, true. Okay, I'd rather put from. No, I'd rather put from. No, don't change it. You won't remember that. What's a little bit? You're saving time. Based from subjective norms, comma, and also perceived behavior is not going as planned. Shut up. It's not going as planned. So, and also perceived behavior control. And these are the names. We will be learning about these two of many extensions of organizational behavior. And this is the question. This is that was the intro, and they said it was supposed to be 4 sentences. I don't know, I hope it's minimum 4 sentences because this is more than 4 sentences. No, it is 4 sentences. I think that's what. So anyway, next question. Choose to establish organizational behavior theories or models. Describe the theories or models and assess how your selected theories or models impact the company. So I hope I didn't put no outrageous stuff. So establish organizational behavior models that I want to go into, go further into. Copy that, delete that, put that, insert that. I want to go further into is. R is. Theory of planned behavior. Wait. Theory of planned behavior and perceived behavior control. The descriptive data that I was able to come across tells a story about how the theory of planned behavior is essential to the beginning stages of motivating yourself to get your business off the ground. If you are in a corporate job, it gives you the tools needed to incorporate new positive actionable behavior based on the workload. And I fact checked this with Grok while inserting the data. I didn't choose his words. No, I did it right in front of you. So you can't say I was nothing. No, 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 no. So the way I did it was different. I didn't ask him to write me a paper. I asked him, does it make sense what I'm saying? Because sometimes when you're in grad school, you're still learning. You don't get in a doctorate school knowing doctorate. You have a taste of doctorates, but you don't go into doctorate school getting a doctorate tomorrow. You have to learn and research. And that's what I'll give Grok and Chat GPT. If you know how to research the right ways based on you paid your money to go to school. It would be very stupid. I don't know. It is not guaranteed that you will be successful. Yes, I remember reading that. However, the necessary tools for theory of behavior causes you to think positively, to reroute your behavior. Let me put some more. No, go down, go down. If you do not have, how big is that? Okay. If you do not have positive behavior, reaching self actualization will fail. The whole attempt will crumble, and you will be negatively affected. You start to lose things at work. Your, what is it called? What is it called? Basic needs becomes deducted. Therefore, your job status is irrelevant. When you are positive, your plans motivate, help, become transparent to the team. You inspire them to want to execute this plan. When the manager is not doing good, the team fails. There has to be a set of not only, what's the question? Okay, good. I'm on the right track. Managerial rules, but employee rules. If a manager isn't a functional alcoholic and likes to drink on the job, he will be useless in leading, and isolation occurs, irritation occurs, agitation of no direction occurs. The company isn't going to survive. Let's face the facts. Oh, the environment plays a huge part and how you were raised. We have to form a better communication barrier towards maintaining good leadership strategies. Start with the model and mm, 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 mm. I don't need this no more. I don't think I do. Keep it up just in case. Which one is this? Where's go. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, this is the one. Where was I at? Okay. I'm gonna read this and then I'm gonna tag it in here. They want to know about a company, but this is talking about building a business and how the behavior of dairy plant behavior incorporates your behavior. You got some people in categories that just don't want to do nothing. They're never, I'm sorry to say, I'm sorry if you're one of them, but just never is going to do nothing. Never. Don't want to deal with AI. Don't want to do nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. And then you got people that want to start businesses no matter what, you know, no matter what. In your behavior, they dissected that. So this is needed to be saying. Thus, this intention is determined by three different consideration beliefs. The first is known as behavioral beliefs and refers to the positive or negative consequences perceived. So just remember that part. Behavior beliefs, positive or negative consequences perceived when performing the behavior, and subjective values, which means other people's values or beliefs, how they feel, or assessments of the consequences. So I have to stop. I have to make an example. I have to make an example. I sat up there and my very first business, Blue Cloud Cleaning. I researched a little. I didn't research enough. I researched enough now, but there was no Grok. And I knew nothing about a business. I had to get ADP. I had to, pay them through ADP and my employees and everything. This was a positive consequence. I had no idea a negative consequence would come out of it. And it was perceived, I saw it coming down the road. I don't see nothing negative. Even if a negative thing happened to me, I don't throw flames to the fire. But this particular, I saw, now that I'm out of that situation, I see where it went. I see the signs. It's just like Final Destination. You have to notice the signs. The flickering of the flight information. And he's like, John Denver song, come on. And we know how he passed away by airplane. And you notice the signs. I noticed that it was getting tighter and tighter for them to give me my paycheck. I was noticing that they didn't want to give me any more business and they gave me these weirdo contracts. I noticed. But did I I could have dropped out then and saved time and money. Um, did I? No. And then it happened, the negative consequences. My husband slept with my employee and got her pregnant. I'm like, dang, dude, like you could have did anybody, anybody in the world. All these women that done went through it know what I'm talking about. All these men that went through it know what I'm talking about. But the negative consequences still ring true. He slept with my employee and got her pregnant. And the positive was that I was making like $7,000 a month. That's a lot of money, right? And I enjoy every bit of it. And the behavior of the subjective values, like my values, their values, our values, what we believe in this era, like that are subjective. Um, what people felt around me and what I felt. I felt like you know, others were rooting for me silently. I never did anything to burn any of my clients that I cleaned for. I was told by my soon to be ex-husband that um, they came by the big white house I was renting and wanted to own. These are the consequences. And I assessed that they came by the house from what he tells me. And you can't believe everything he say, but he came by the house and they were looking for me. They were like they still wanted to work with me. And I believed it, but I look at the sources coming from. That's like the Howard Stern show. Talking to him. No, Howard Stern is way a step up. Talking to my husband is like talking to a habitual liar who lies for no reason. Just lies for no reason. And that's what I mean. I want you to imagine just being around a liar for no reason, both female or male. That is actually a condition. So imagine being a truth teller and married to a liar. You know, I'll say this and move on and finally close this chapter of bringing him up. I'll start to bring him up more and more briefly. What he did hurt my career. What he did could have been avoided. What he did was selfish. He tried to kill me. He tried to do a lot of stuff. What he did is unacceptable. And now I never hit him. I never attempted to hit him. I never even imagine that, y'all. As much as I raised my voice on here, I never raised my voice. I never hit him. He can never say I hit him. And he can never say when I was on that blacktop at McVets that I had sex with any of those men. Cause it was like five women and the rest were like 200 men there. And, I'm just keeping it real. If my career, if he had a stayed, it would have been an extension on my career. That would have doubled my profit. But his mind was incompetent and unstable. He suffers from mental health like me, but this is on a different level. And when he did that, and they told me, my own employees told me, I tried to savage the business, Blue Cloud Cleaning 2.0 or LLC. It was LLC then. And then I get a call from the master franchisee because he took the opportunity. He knew me and my husband were about to separate. I was saying it online, and he sat up there and he said, I'm going to take all of your contracts. And I said, why? Give me an explanation. I don't have to give you nothing. You give me back my 7 contracts, or and give me the key, or you have to pay for the key and the fees. That's all I got from the person above me. Not even an explanation. And that's, I split up. I got a 2020 Chevy Malibu. It was 2020 then. I had a 2020 Chevy Traverse that he ended up getting. And he took, I feel like that Outcast song. He took the dog and the kitty. He took the kitty, he took the house, he took the car that was partially my all my investment. He didn't invest in nothing. I hoped him get his retirement pay. He barely got that, but he got it. I wrote the stuff for him and went over it with him as a team. I helped him get money in his pocket throughout 10 years of being together. And this is what he do. Yes, I was hurt. Very hurt. I'm not hurt no more. I cried when I cried in that car when I saw a hickey on his neck and then laughed it off. It was over right then and there. It was over. I didn't even hit him. We had guns, lots of guns. 30, which was overkill now that I think about it. But no one was hurt or no one got threatened. Um, it just unnecessary. And like I said, business wise, he was under me. I would pay him to clean for me. I would pay my employees to clean for me. And we had this is when I knew it was over too. We had this huge $3,000, $4,000 contract, and it had sections in it. It was a big corporate building. You get a standard 2.5 hours minimum, and there were sections to it. Like if you're all the way on the other side of the building, who knows what you could be doing? You could be doing anything, anything. And they had a whole bunch of trash cans and like little mini trash cans, offices. You'd be amazed at what you see in corporate world. And it was a disconnection for like 20 minutes between him and my employee. And I think that's when it happened. But I couldn't prove it. But I have to explain this because this is very valid and educational because I have to go back to the question and insert it. She bent over in front of him and looked back at him. Then she asked me previously, if she could be a surrogate mother. This isn't made up, y'all. Y'all know me. Y'all don't even know nothing about her. The little young whippersnapper. She's still younger than me. What I look like riding by her house, going riding, dying and stuff. I'm about to ride on her. What the fuck I look like? Obviously, it was that's what made us split up, and other factors, huge factors. But I'm not gonna do nothing stupid like, yeah, you're supposed to fight over your husband. But if he's going out slinging his stuff, I'm not about to fight over that. Obviously, he don't want to be there or he's confused. And I know men. I know men. And you tell someone everything about you and still trying to figure out the pieces of the puzzle, in 2015 and then marry in 2020 and it still didn't work out. You know everything about him. And I was okay with the cheating part, but the killing, the pedophilia, the lying for no reason, the women over the phone when I'm walking in on you talking to a random woman, not your mother. That was the clues that were coming up, the underlying clues. So when you're going into a business and you start seeing cracks within your marriage based on what you see and your beliefs start to shift, whether positive or negative. He was the heartbeat, partial. He was the stomach part, just as important to my heartbeat of the company. And he let it go because one, he was lazy. He started complaining. In the end, he started complaining. He's just the help. How are you just the help when I pay you? And we never really argued. It wasn't, yeah, I gave my opinions, but I never let it reach a certain decibel with him. Even when, even when I was mad, he never got like how I could have been. I've had him recorded many of times lying. And at first it started off good, positive. As I started getting into the papers more and more and getting myself fixed and trying to lose weight or reshape, it started going negative. And this is what I perceive when performing my job to whatever was the norm. It was politics going on around that time. Biden and Trump were, and this is when I first noticed Trump. This is when I first really, like, I've seen Donald as a child at home. My mother paid for us to see Home Alone. And when you don't have money like that and you see a movie, it's like a dream come true for a kid. And I remember seeing specifically Home Alone Lost in New York. And he was at the wherever he was at, the fancy hotel. And he saw Trump briefly. I didn't know who he was then. I just saw a happy man, a happy white man. And fast forward today, you know, is just same. I think I'm gonna leave it there because I want to stick this stuff in here and get on. But I just wanted to close with that with CTU to know my life and how it was structured. And I wanted y'all to know that I take my job serious when I get on here and do my work. So let's get started. I just wanted you to have a piece of my vulnerability. You know what I mean? So these positive or negative consequences, I lost my business. I had a good time at the same at beginning, and what people think, assessments of the consequences. I assessed them. I moved away and I assessed the consequences. So putting this and dissecting this and rerouting and shifting this whole thing, I had to get and internalize this, because now I'm going to incorporate it into an example from what the business of the Word document that I'm doing um, needs. It asks you for two organizational behavior models and how a company can face challenges, I believe. This is the perfect sentence. And Aza in 2002. I'm not going to copy it. I'm going to paraphrase it and internalize it into the document. Okay. We're going to delete this and paraphrase. Wow, how I'm gonna do this? I can't even wait. Don't start yanking. Let go. We're gonna make this tinier because I can see where the ticker is, and it's bigger. Where's the ticker? Where's the ticker? Right there. Wait, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. There it is. Okay. And dog, that's just the first behavioral belief. That's just the first one. I got all of them, but the first one I had to internalize because these are some. This is different. Okay. Mm, where does it start? Who? Okay. AJZEN 2002. I think it goes like this. It looks more conversion by having a core behavioral belief whether positive or negative consequences subject to values and for assessment can treat consequences in business. This is the last paragraph. In business, thinking positive will help push towards a more easier, innovative path to success. What else can I put? I already explained why you think negative. So I want to give a new example. Damn it. Most companies have a standard way of thinking. Their beliefs are controlled in a work setting. Sometimes there's music, but most of the time it's more work than play. You are on the clock for 8 hours. Behavior shifts as the day goes on and things get complicated. Life happens outside of work. You get calls between your shifts. Emergencies happen, but life happens. And based on that life, your whole behavior can shift and isolate from work based on the degree of the environment around you. I'll fix this later. That's good. Let's move on to the next model. Mm. How many pages is this? I kind of fucked up. Do I need this anymore? Just in case. I think I have it, but just in case. I can begin to close this out. This one. I got enough citation for that. Luncho. Okay, I got it. Okay. Now, what is the question you speak of? This is needed. We gotta look something else up. Trying to figure out what the hell. Where do I go? Where do I go? This is. Wait. Where? Oh, I know what it is. I think this is the wrong one. Hold up. Do I go here? I'll do this tomorrow. Keep writing on. Oh, here it is. What are these things called? Ooh, that's two. Ooh. Perceived behavior control. And what's the other one? Theory of planned behavior. Perceived behavior control. Yeah. Fiddlesticks. Wow. Are you kidding me? Now you got me scared. I don't want that. Oh, this sounds interesting. It's not for me. Mm. Mm. Where's the damn paper? What is that thing on here? How do you take it off? Wait, what if you, wait, there it is. Hmm, that ain't for me either. It sounds good. Hmm, where's corporate? Give me something that's a theory of planned behavior in corporate world. Hmm. Let's check this one out. I know I didn't need to read that, but I did. I did it. I can't proceed until Mhm. You know what? I'm good because I have this. Come on. Where am I at? Mm. Where is the? Mm-mm. Mm. There it is. Mm-mm. 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 Okay, I'm gonna pause there. So it's TPB and what else? Hmm. Mm-hmm. 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 No, I don't want to write. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not finished. I got one more after this. Well, two more, technically. Hmm. Okay. I'm about to start descending. I can't wait to eat a salad. Okay, we're going to keep it right there. Where's Grok? Oh, yeah. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for joining my show today. I really, it's been a pleasure. Like, to have you guys be on my show means a lot to me. To join, and we're going on 2 hours now, and I told you that I will be making sure that I finish the project by 6 p.m., if not a little after 6. After I complete the whole project, I'm going to sit, clean up, get in the shower, get ready for bed. But before I go to bed, I'm going to make sure that I take care of the actual reading part again and correct the errors I see right then. And then I'm going to do another show at 9 a.m. about not only rereading it from there, but then going over, once I reread it, going back into to the discussion board, which is encouraged by the professor, and engaging in dialogue. I'm not looking for no responses back, but I want to read some stories. I just want to read some stories and check my messages. And that's what it's about, engaging in positive dialogue and learning about the students there at CTU. So take care. God bless. I'll see y'all in a little bit. I'm about to eat a salad. I am very hungry. Very, very hungry. Take care. Bye.